Looks to come inside and fire one a goal and find the back of the net for Perth.
And the Azzurri have come back from 2 goals down to tie it up.
Cue the celebrations for the Azzurri.
Yeah, welcome to the Perth Azzurri podcast, coming to you from the Perth San Siro. Great to have your company no matter where you are listening. A couple of big guests to get through. And in just a short time, we're going to speak to Jason Marocchi is going to join us. And also, another friendly face around the club, Tass Kalogirou. Always murder his name. Apologies for that, Tass. But if you know Tass, you would have seen him around the traps as our football ops manager. So I thought we might just have a chat to those two gentlemen, Jason particularly, around a bit of a mid-season review. And we'll go behind the scenes of what's happening in the day-to-day life of the football ops manager with Tass a little bit later on. Before we get into that, though, I just want to let you know about a couple of big events. We have got our this coming Friday, in fact, we have got our Azzurri Business Network Luncheon happening down here at Dorrien Gardens, and a little bit of a new initiative from Perth Azzurri to, I guess, mainly get the business community together and sponsors, and a great day of networking and getting together to support the Perth Azzurri Football Club. We're going to have special guest in Adam Griffiths with us, of course, coach of Perth Glory. He's going to join us this coming Friday. So if you want more details on that, simply head over to the Perth Azzurri social media pages. It is right there, and I think you've got till about Monday to RSVP for that. Also, look out for our Pink Game, our annual Pink Game. That is all happening at down here at Dorrien Gardens when we take on Fremantle City in just a couple of weeks' time. So looking forward to that, and all details on all events can be found on the Perth Azzurri social media pages. Right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Jason Marocchi to join us. Well, joining me now is Club President Jason Marocchi. Jason, thanks for giving us a little bit of time on the Perth Azzurri podcast.
Thanks, Blaine.
Mate, first of all, I guess mid-season for thereabouts in both the men's and the women's programs. Our juniors a little bit later, of course, with their later start. But how are you summing up things in 2026?
Yeah, I think on the men's side of things, Blaine, we're in the top 4, 6 points behind top. I think we're in a good spot. We have sort of suffered from a lot of injuries the early part of the season, which has made things a little bit difficult for the coaching staff. But the guys that have come in have really played their part and got us in a good spot. So what is it? 8 or 9 games left to go. I think if we can go on a good run, get 3 points on a regular basis, don't drop too many or don't lose too many games, I think we could be in and around where we want to be.
6 unbeaten at the moment, so it's been a pretty good run, and obviously you have had these injuries that we've had to deal with. Take us a little bit behind the scenes, Jason, between some of your communications and relationship with the football department in regards to injuries and things like that. What are we doing to ensure that we can kind of mitigate those kind of things?
Yeah, look, I mean, injuries, the guys are semi-professional footballers. You get a lot of injuries at professional level as well, but we've just had a little bit of a difficult run. Peter Jacobs, who started the season really well and was a great signing for us. Unfortunately, he had a pretty significant injury in the Balcatta game that he aggravated. I think potentially it might have been an aggravation of an older injury from last season. So it's good to see Pete come back on the park. Look, it's just part of the game, and I think we're quite fortunate that we've, Christian and his team in football ops of working with Kenny and the coaching staff, we've put together a pretty good squad. We've managed to have enough depth to sort of cover those injuries, and now we're getting the benefit of most of our players being available. So I guess it's a different headache, probably a better headache for Kenny, where he's got almost a full squad to choose from, becomes the other problem. Well, who do I leave out? So, look, I think we're in a good spot. We play really good football. I think there's no doubting that. I think our football is probably some of the most exciting to watch. It'd be great to sort of tighten the back up a little bit because we do concede way too many. But look, I think we've got a great squad, some great characters there, and it's there for the taking. We go on a good run towards the end of the season. It's going to be tough the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks because they're all away. So really tough run there. There's no easy game in the NPL. And then, we've got the majority of the final games at home. So we can put ourselves in a really good position to, give it a red hot crack to win the title.
I guess with those injuries does come the opportunity. So are you happy with where you're filling up from in terms of your 18s up to your 23s and your 23s into your senior team? Yeah,
no, definitely. And, I think you go back to the game that we won at Kingsway and some of the kids that were on the park that day at the final whistle, I think it's fantastic. There's enough there, I think. And there's some boys coming through the 18s and the 23s who we hope, will play first-team football and potentially become regulars for us. Yep. So,
A little bit on the women's program, absolutely flying at the moment. I think I looked at an undefeated record so far. I think they've conceded 2 all season. Tommy's just getting the best out of this side again.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this about our women's team. They've just got a great team culture.
Yep.
And, when you've got that right, when the girls love being together, love playing together, love partying together, it just makes the chemistry all that stronger. And we've got a great bunch of girls. Tommy leads them well. We're getting the results, which is fantastic. Yep. We're now coming into that hard period of games. Got the academy, and then it'll be I think Freo and Balcatta and Red Stars. So. I think if the girls can, perform over the next 4 weeks and get the results that they want to get, going to set ourselves up quite well to make another real tilt for the championship again.
We've had a couple of really handy inclusions come in. Obviously, players like Charlie Wainwright, Daisy McAllister, who have had to spend a bit of time at A-League level. I guess it's a little bit of a two-way street because it's great to have them come back into the fold, but of course you want to be able to send more and more players up for those opportunities as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, we make we don't hide from the fact that we love our players going to the next level. And if someone gets an opportunity to play at a higher level, then we are sending them on their way and wishing them all the best. And it is great to see Daisy get that opportunity at Glory. She probably would have liked to have played a little bit more there, but it's great to have her back. Charlie Wainwright, I think she's a fantastic player. I love the way she goes about it, real hard in the middle of the park, and fantastic that she wanted to come back and play for us this season. And I don't think we've made an announcement on it yet, but you will probably see Ella Lincoln running around pretty soon for us too, playing in that number 9 role. So that will be, they'll give us some more strength on the park too, and great to have Ella back because you've seen what she's done in previous years for us.
It's been quite satisfying as well, seeing some of these players step into that next level with the Azzurri first team. And, some that come to mind is someone like Louise Tanner, who I spoke to a couple of weeks ago. She said, look, I was a winger, but I've found my absolute stride in this team as a fullback now. So it's all about navigating these little things for the individual players.
Yeah,
as well.
It was funny. I think the night series final was up at Sorrento, having a look at the side, and it was probably one of the first games I saw for the year. And I was wondering who this new right back that we had in the team, and it was, it's Louise. That's interesting. But no, she's done well.
Yep.
That is what I like about this team, that they all play the roles that they need to play, and maybe it's a position that they don't want to play, and maybe it's a position they're unfamiliar with, but they do what they need to do for the team. And full marks to Louise, because she's slotted in that role beautifully.
One of the heart and souls of that team, and it has been for a couple of years now, is Ruby Marshall, and it was fantastic to see her celebrated and, of course, acknowledged as the Player of the Month in May. So, this is great.
Yeah, Player of the Month. It is fantastic. I reckon Ruby's great. She wears the long shorts. She's a bit of a character, and Player of the Month, really well deserved, and we gave her an extra cutlet at Thursday night dinner last Thursday, just as a bit of a reward.
Fantastic stuff. Juniors, Jason, where are we at as far as our junior programs?
Yeah, juniors are going well. Our 16s, I think, are flying. They're undefeated, and they're on top of the ladder. So Tass and his coaching staff doing a really good job there. Our 15s, who the season before won the treble, they're finding a little bit more tough this year. But in defence of that team, we have pushed up a few players into the 16s from that team, so it's a little bit of a different team. But really good to see Federico Achille now taking that team. Fedi obviously is out for the season, unfortunately. But he has ambitions as a coach, and he took the boys down to Bunbury last week, and they won their first game. He won his first game in charge, which was great. They're going well. The 14s with Greg and Kevin, they're doing well. They had a fantastic result last weekend away to Perth Red Star, who I believe hadn't been beaten in 2 or 3 seasons. Wow. So fantastic result for those boys. And then, our 13s, we got 2 very strong under-13s teams, one in Divi 1, one in Divi 2. And, Dino Julbic is the head coach there, and he... how he coaches, he takes no prisoners. So the boys have to perform, otherwise, you don't want an unhappy Dino. I'll give you the tip. But we got some very good boys in that team. We play some very good football, and the future's bright, I think, in terms of the juniors coming through the club.
Well, one thing that is a recurring theme, Jason, and one that I've asked you about before, is ensuring that we have the facilities and the capabilities to be able to, house all these junior teams and ensure they flourish. Where are we at on things such as, facilities and the like? Yeah,
facilities is always a challenge, but the works are finally are going ahead at Beatty Park, so we will have those toilets and change rooms ready soonish there, which is a good thing. Birdwood Square, I think, unfortunately, probably not going to have the lights up for this season, but next season that'll be fully lit, and that'll be another training venue where that we can utilise as a club. And then obviously there's the redevelopment of Dorrien Gardens, which is progressing well. Not a lot that I can share with you at the minute, because we're working very closely with the government and the council on what that looks like. But very exciting, and I think once we get that one underway and we build the new facilities over on the Italian side, Italian club side on the car park, that frees up us to knock this place over and put a second field in, and that'll be a game changer for us. Effectively allowing our senior teams to train at Dorrien Gardens full time, and then also allow our juniors to play at Dorrien Gardens on a Sunday morning as well, particularly our older juniors.
Yep. Sponsorships. In a pretty good space at the moment as far as that goes?
Sponsorship's been fantastic, and hats off to Dino Djurbic and Nadia Lefroy, who have really driven sponsorship. We went through the sort of significant task of, rebranding the club and having to effectively get new shirts for every single team in the club, and we got some fantastic sponsors that got behind that. Signed 3-year deals, so we've locked them in, and that's fantastic. So basically all the key real estate around the club is on the playing kit is done, which is fantastic. Yeah, I look. We'd go pretty close, I think, to a record sponsorship year this year, and we've got another one which we're keeping up our sleeve, and we'll announce very, very shortly.
Yep. A few events on the forecast, not only in a sponsorship capacity, but also in a charitable capacity. One important one on the fixture, amongst others, is the Pink Game, where we get behind the Breast Cancer Care WA. Jason, just how important is it that you see and ensure that Perth Azzurri is giving back to these causes? Yeah,
it is. It's really important, and this was a game that we've probably now trying to think. It must be the 4th or 5th time we've done the Pink Game. We've got a fundraising lunch here. I think it is the 28th of June from memory. It's the game that we play Fremantle City at home. Encourage everybody to if they can, get a table. If not, please buy a ticket. Money goes to Breast Cancer Care WA, do a fantastic job. And it is important because we play a key role in the community promote healthy living and lifestyles and being a good person and that sort of thing. And part of that is actually doing your bit for the rest of the community. So I think it's important, really important. You saw a few weeks back the football community get together and get behind, the Danskin family and Jack, and we raised, over $75,000 for the family. You had Matt on, you know his family's plight and the expense there. So we have to, the season before we raised some good money for Brian McCready as well, who was undergoing a battle with cancer, which he is winning. He's one tough dude, Brian McCready.
To see Brian back out there on the sideline.
So we've got to do our bit. It's important, and we've got a wonderful community. They put their hands in their pockets a lot to support us, and to support others. So hopefully get behind that Pink Game and raise some good money for a good cause.
Another initiative is coming up this week. It is our Azzurri Business Luncheon held here at Dorrien Gardens. Jason, where did the idea and the initiative come from?
Yeah, so look, we used to do Thursday night dinners here. They were a bit of an institution, and the members would come up and have a few course meal and that sort of thing. But, I think the times have changed, Blaine, and Thursday nights we're finding it a little bit difficult to get people here when kids got school and that the next day. So we wanted to do something a little bit different. We had a really successful season launch here earlier in the year, a Friday business lunch, and we want to replicate those now on a regular basis. Maybe hold 3 or 4 a year where we get a decent speaker, and we get our sponsors together, and we get other businesses together, and become part of what we're calling the Azzurri Business Network, where businesses can connect, network, become friends, and become part of this this wonderful club. So we'll announce a little bit more information about that on the day and following the day. But look, we're going to have a big crowd on Friday, which will be fantastic. You still got till Monday to book your tickets. So
Sure.
if you haven't, $150, 2-course meal, and we'll throw some dessert in as well. And it'll be a fantastic day. We got Adam Griffiths on stage, and you're going to put him through his paces, which will
Ask him
be
what's going on.
Will be fantastic.
Yep.
And we're also making a very significant announcement about Dorrien Gardens as well, which I think is going to be very exciting for our club and the future of our club. And really can't wait to tell everyone what we've got in store there.
I guess just in regards to that, if people do want to catch up with more of what's happening on the corporate and business side of things of Perth Azzurri, we're becoming a little bit more active on things like LinkedIn at the moment, Jason.
Yeah, yep, we've got the LinkedIn page going, so make sure you follow us there, and then obviously Facebook and Instagram are the sort of key other channels. But have a look at the website too, and all our members should be on our mailing list, and
Yep.
got a great newsletter that comes out every Thursday, which tells you everything that's going on at the club.
Yep, no, good stuff. Jason, just before we let you go, hugely significant moment this weekend, as I believe it will be our first Azzurri player to play in a World's Cup in Alicante, I think. I was trying to work out.
Yeah. I think we claim Richie Garcia because
true.
he played in our in our youth teams.
He's with that other mob at the moment.
He is indeed. Bit of pressure on him, I think.
Yep.
Look, we're really proud to see Ali there. He's a fantastic player, but a fantastic person.
Yep.
We're really proud to have played a small role in his development. I know his dad is extremely proud.
Yep.
G, and he'll be over there. I'm sure he'll have a tear in his eye. Look, I think Popper will set him up to get results. It might not be the prettiest football. And look, I think for Popper, he'll either be a tactical mastermind or he'll be widely panned. Unfortunately, if he can hold him out and get one on the counter, he'll be a genius. If we can't, it could get ugly, I reckon.
Yeah, fantastic. And I guess it's what it is, Jason, a little bit more to bring it back a little bit closer to home. I mean, it is just testament to some of these young juniors that we do have, that if you do put in the hard work, you can go to some of the highest levels.
Absolutely. And look, I think Ali will be the first one to tell you that, when he was running around with us, and even when he was at the Glory Academy, people weren't saying, oh, this guy's going to go and play Serie A and be a Socceroo or captain the Socceroos. Yep. But, hey, a lot of really talented players do not make it because they don't have the mindset or the determination and the hard work. Yep. Discipline is probably the word I was looking for. They don't have the discipline. So, you can be whatever you want to be. You've got to work at it. You've got to have the drive, the discipline, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see him there. Just on that, we've got a watch party
Absolutely,
here.
yes.
On Sunday at, gates open 9:30, and we've got some guys
Oh,
coming in tomorrow to put some new TVs in. So when you get here on Sunday, fingers crossed, we'll have a new big screen and 4 other screens around the clubhouse to watch the game on. Yeah,
no, good stuff, Jace. Just before I let you go, anything else that the punters need to know about?
No, get along to Sam Kerr on Saturday afternoon and watch the boys, and after the watch party here on Sunday, our girls are playing the Football West Academy.
Full day out there, 18s, 21s, and the senior women.
Yep.
So, make a full day of it and wear your Azzurri and your green and gold, and it should be a fantastic day. Jason, thanks very much, mate, for giving us a few minutes, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, Blaine. Good on you.
Big thanks to Jason Marocchi, who joined us just before that break. Another familiar face who I thought would have a bit of a chat with on this edition of the Perth Azzurri podcast is Tass Kalogirou. Tass has recently come into our football operations role at the start of the season. You might have seen his friendly face around the traps, and I thought we might just have a bit of a chat about what's happening behind the scenes here at Perth Azzurri. Tass, thanks for giving us a bit of time, mate.
You're very welcome.
No
Thanks for
worries
having me.
at all. Mate, first of all, take us into a little bit of your football story and what brought you all the way over to Perth Azzurri.
Okay, so fortunately one of the many that wasn't good enough to play, and that sort of landed me in coaching. So from 15, I've sort of worked in football professionally almost the whole time. Started off in England, ended up going to the States, ended up in Canada, and that's how I met my partner, who's Australian, hence coming back to Australia.
Yeah, okay.
And then, we were in Queensland for 8 years, decided to make our way over around the country, ended up staying in Perth, and Perth, Azzurri were in contact with me since I came. Really liked the people at the club. Loved the project that they had. I loved how ambitious they were.
Yep.
And then we managed to sort of agree on a position, and here I am.
Yeah, good
about
stuff.
6
so
months in.
You were born in the UK?
Born in the UK.
Yeah, whereabouts?
Born in London.
Yep.
My mum's English, my dad's Greek, hence the name.
Okay, that's
where the name comes
I'm putting
from.
the pieces of the puzzle together there, mate.
I can play both the sides, the English side or the ethnic side if I want to. So I got that trump card.
Yeah, no, good stuff. So what was your football upbringing like in the UK?
It's very different, but obviously the culture it's just so strong there with, everyone lives and breathes. It's a religion. I was playing most of my, I started when I was 3, and then I was playing most of my youth years. I was playing about 6 times a week. Yeah, okay. So quite full on.
At what type of level are we talking?
So I was always playing at a high community level. Okay,
so can we put that into JDL terms?
Yeah, we can go for that. Would be that sort of a level.
Sure.
Just never managed to get the breakthrough to academies. Had a couple of trials. Yep. But once I got to about 14, a lot of my teammates were getting into clubs, and it sort of was a bit of a wake up call. And I wanted to stay in football, thinking about being a physio. And then just by chance at my club I support and worked for, Wycombe Wanderers, managed to get a work experience placement at 15. And they said, you're quite good at coaching. So it all stemmed from there. So got for the job pretty quick. Did the summer and all the sort of summer holiday clinics. And then that developed into opportunities in there.
Where are they sitting these days, Wycombe Wanderers? Like Premier South?
So we're in the League One, which is the third.
Oh, it's League One. Okay.
Yeah, so
so they've popped up a bit.
Yeah, so we've gone up from those horrible days. And we've got a nice wealthy owner now. I've just missed out on playoffs. So we'll be going for playoffs or automatics next year.
Yeah, no, good stuff.
Started off with them. And then won't bore you with the details, but something called the EPPP came in, right, which basically forced the lower clubs to sell players for a maximum of £250,000.
Okay.
And basically that stops them being profitable as an academy. So their academy shut down, and that's what lent to me going abroad.
Sure.
From 13 years ago now, I've popped around the place, popped around Australia too, and never looked back. It's not, there's worse jobs to have, I think.
Yeah. Time in the States, how did that all come about?
Well, that was the first move. I was really gutted that the academy had shut down. That was my hope to sort of go up through the ranks there. And, the States have so many academies. And my big thing was I didn't want to go into a community. I've been stuck in the community phase playing, unfortunately. I wanted to go into an academy, and I found an academy over there based out in New Jersey that were very serious, and they were sort of in the, the elite youth space. And that was the one I wanted to jump at. I didn't want to go over and do the whole summer clinic thing. I wanted to actually, learn how to coach with top coaches, work with really good players. And that's how I ended up there. Had a great time. That's where I learned to coach. Day one I got there, they said, you're not going to have a day off. You're going to work straight for 10 months. So it was, non-stop football, really. Yeah. Great experience. Similar in Canada, similar setup, surprisingly good level. I mean, that's probably why they're doing better at national level now. Got one player that's actually been sniffing around the national team that I coached, funnily enough, out there. He's at Bournemouth now in the Premier League. And once I met my partner, she sold me the dream of Queensland, palm trees and beaches, and it wasn't a hard sell.
Fair enough.
Ended up over here.
Bit different to New Jersey.
Bit different. I had a great time over East, did a technical director role there.
Yep.
And
who was that with?
So I did two. I did one for Magpies Crusaders, which was in Mackay and regional Queensland.
Name of a football club.
Yeah, it was a long one. It was a very long one. It was
what is it? Mackay Whitsundays.
Yeah, Mackay
Magpies Crusaders.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that was a different experience because they actually recruited a really top coach who worked under Castilla at Real Madrid. Yeah. He did the 23s, so they brought him out. And I was the TD, so I was sort of, we worked alongside each other. Sure. And it's a brand new club. So they went, build us a club and don't get relegated while you're in regional areas. So that was a real challenge. Loved that challenge, but always wanted to sort of move down to southeast Queensland. And then I ended up at eastern suburbs where I spent a good amount of time there, sort of 4 or 5 years. Just managed, again, a similar thing. They just got promoted to MPL. And managed to sort of build the club, but especially the academy, from the ground up there, and had some success stories. And even one of my coaches now is first team coach at Eastern Suburbs, and I think they're sitting at 4th. So left a bit of a program there. So that was great time, and came out here, and things are a bit different here. Still kind of finding my feet because it's definitely a little bit behind the East Coast.
In what way?
I think there's a lot more funding over East.
Right.
Fees are higher for juniors, quite substantially, and it's a lot more of a structured sort of academy setup. So, one example is the juniors will play back-to-back. So you have home and away. You have the same clubs in every age group. And, you'll get there say you're a technical director, you'll get there at 8 and you'll see your 9s and then you'll go all the way through to your 18s and first team in one day. So you get to see all those teams back to back.
Yeah, right.
At home, which is great as a TD. It's really hard for the TDs here that you're spread out across.
Get around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it a real challenge. So even just something small like that is a massive difference to here. They're now in a position over East where they have several full-timers. Here we're still looking at, does a club have a full-timer? So it's quite different. But, I mean, the thing that I liked about this club is their ambition they want to be as good as these clubs on the East Coast, and I think that's commendable when, some clubs might just be happy competing in the Perth MPL sphere. That's kind of how I got here.
So take us into your role at the moment, football ops manager. What does the day-to-day what does the day look like?
So day-to-day on paper probably sounds quite boring. A lot of admin, a lot of phone calls, a lot of firefighting, but when I can, we're obviously trying to be productive and put things in place. But really it's sort of organising all the different various operations. So junior games, senior games, Matchday experience, all our functions we have during the week. So function we're at tonight, we've got our Thursday night dinner that we have with our senior teams, organising all the things for that. And then, we're trying to do sort of a bit of programming too. Obviously, the football element is my background, is more technical. So, trying to sort of develop some programs, protocols, procedures of how we want to structure the club and make it as best as it can be.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Hopefully this off-season is going to be a real crucial one on the field and off the field, and we can really get ourselves in a good place for next year and try and be a point of difference for how we want football to look in Perth.
For sure. So I guess if we look at the structure of Perth Azzurri, you work quite closely with Christian as the head of men's football.
Yeah, I work quite
Glenn
close.
Hutchison and then the board as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're obviously committee members, but I sit sort of at the top of the staff and would report to those guys. And with the two operations staff, so the women's and the men, which is Glenn and Christian, I work alongside those guys and we'll work together on certain things.
Sure. How's it all tracking along, mate, before we let you go? Obviously, we had Jason on a little bit earlier for a bit of a mid-season kind of review, but from your perspective, mate, where are we at in 2026?
I think we're doing quite well. When I started the role in end of January, I think there was a lot to do, and I think we're now trying to find our feet. And like I said briefly before, we've sort of moved away from the firefighting to now being productive and improving things. And yeah, we've done some good stuff already. I mean, you've seen yourself. We've got a nice, active zone going at our home games, and
just thinking outside the box a little bit more, I guess.
Trying to make the experience and the buy-in to our club culture better. And Jason's done a great job with the name change back to the original name, and reconnecting with our identity that we should be proud of. And I think everyone's buying into that. And with the proposed redevelopment, it's an exciting place to be right now.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Tass, I know you're a busy man, so we'll let you go, but thanks for giving us a few minutes.
You're very welcome.
Well, there we have it. Big thanks to both Jason Marocchi and Tass Kalogirou, who joined us a little bit earlier on. Don't forget, big weekend of football to come down here at Perth Azzurri, and plenty happening across the weekend. Our NPL men's team away to Perth Glory down there at the Samcur Football Centre. Saturday football, 18s at 11, 23s at 1, and our senior team kicking off at 3 p.m. And on Sunday, a huge day down here at Dorrien Gardens, a big day of both Women's and World Cup football happening at Dorrien Gardens. We will kick off the morning with our under-18s JDL side in action. We will have our 21s women in action at 1 p.m. and also our senior women. But happening in the background will be that massive clash in the World Cup. Of course, Australia taking on Turkey, which is kicking off at midday. So get yourself down to Dorrien Gardens this coming Sunday, and we'll certainly make a good day of it. Right, that's me for now. Big thank you to you for listening. Don't forget to tell everyone about the Perth Azzurri podcast, now available on Spotify, on Apple, and of course YouTube Music. And as always, come on, the Azzurri.